Hey everyone, welcome back, and I'm excited to do another team preview. This time, a division that you always give a hard time, Sean, the international. I have too good for a name. If you notice, he has no headline. You want to know why? Because he's too good for a headline.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to his preview, but I mean, I think I always thought he was a pretty good owner. I have no problems with him. I mean, obviously, I think it's a little different for you, as you call him always shitty. But to me, he's a good owner, so I have no problem with him. Switching on over, looking at his record from last year, he went 8-5. He's 37-28. He's in 2016. He finished third. That was his best finish. So I mean, he's a couple years away from his best finish.
Yeah, he's done well. I mean, I always call him always shitty, but he's made the playoffs fairly consistently since he's been in. And that's all you can ask for is a shot at the dance. And, that same rivalry that you see my brother Brian have with the Architect, I had a similar one with Shitty in another league. And he called himself always shady in Philadelphia. And I kept bugging him and kept saying always shitty in Philadelphia.
Nice. Well, it's good to at least know the backstory and that you're just not call him always shitty for no odd reason. Looking at his team, switching over today, you got David Carr and Eastham. He doesn't have a backup quarterback. It seems like Wentz is going to start week 1, maybe week 2. He has Melvin Gordon, David Johnson, Damian Williams, Hill. I mean, he has a pretty good wide receiver core with Shark, Samuel Thomas, Woods, Patrick, Patterson. Yeah, his tight ends are Graham, Bryant, Braid. They're not too well there. And his IDPs are okay. I think I have them ranked 7th or 8th. They're mediocre. They're nothing great, nothing horrible.
Yeah, I mean, Derek Carr's not that great. The running room doesn't scare me at all. David Johnson might not even be a factor in Houston. Michael Thomas being out for as long as he is definitely devastates his wide receiver room. The tight ends, no. And, it just doesn't look good. The only guy I really like on his roster is Keanu Neal, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I have his quarterbacks ranked 18th out of 20, obviously. His running back room 15th out of 20. His wide receivers, if they were all healthy, and that's kind of where I give this grade at. I gave him a 7 out of 20. Well, 7th best wide receiver room. If they're all healthy, it's good. It's a good wide receiver room. Yeah, with Woods, Patrick in there. His tight ends, I gave 18th. They're the 18th best tight end room. His his flex. So let's be honest, it's all going to be wide receivers. Is 12th best flex, and his IDPs to me are between his IDPs and his wide receivers, they both have 7s. So it's not that great. I mean, it's one of the lower averages from all the teams that I ranked.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'm giving him too hard of a time. I do like Darius Leonard too, but I just think it's going to be a long year for Luke this year, just because of the Michael Thomas injury. He was already behind the 8 ball, and because of what we'll see here soon, his draft grade. And when we look at his draft, taking David Johnson at 14, to me, that's the C- right there. I mean, if you were reading the reports, it definitely sounded like Philip Lindsay, even at the time of the draft, was taking over that job. And Philip Lindsay actually went 4 picks after. And I think that's the hard part that I see. I think AB, or there was another pick there too. AB was taken after Johnson, Christian Kirk. He did get Keanu Neal later, which of course I said I like that pick. It looks like he's actually going to be one of the starting linebackers in Dallas. I think it was a very poor draft because right off the bat, David Johnson.
No, I agree with you. I had David Johnson also on. I gave him obviously a C- as well. He took David Johnson. He could have taken Lindsey. He could have taken James Conner, Gainwell, or Singletary. I mean, he could have taken any of those guys. I also called out in the 7th round. He drafted Jimmy Graham. And honestly, in the 7th, Jimmy Graham would have probably been there in the 9th or the 10th round. He could have taken Harrison Bryant or Tyler Croft, who both went in the 9th round. So that's why I gave him a C-. Like there's David Johnson and taking Jimmy Graham, who's tight end number 2. In my opinion, he might even be tight end number 3 by the end of the year up there. So That's why I gave him a C minus.
Fair enough. And I mean, the thing is, if we've seen the recent Chicago preseason games, the offense doesn't look that great, even if it's Fields or Dalton. So obviously Jimmy Graham's not going to have much of an impact.
100% agree with you there. And you're looking at his projections. You have him going 1-12. I have him going 5-8 just because he does play in that division that you say I give a hard time to, the international division. So I think he'll definitely be able to squeak out a few games there. But yeah, I mean, I don't have him winning many games. A couple games. I looked at a couple games that I have him winning. I have him winning against one of the teams I think is going to be close to the ship, just because they are on a bye, and then a couple other ones. It was a coin flip, honestly.
For me, I'm just going to be outright and honest. The only win I have him winning on the schedule is against Deuce Bombers. He'll lose every other single game. I think everybody in this division white walls him big time because Aldemus Prime's the new owner, right? And of course, he's got a pretty weak roster, right? But the issue is he plays him week 1 when Michael Thomas is hurt. And I think Aldemus Prime will get the upset week 1. And I think it'll just be a steamroll job for Luke and Shitty this year. I have him projected to be worse than Robert. We'll see now that Etienne is hurt. I think Robert's going to go on a landslide there now. But, I think it's going to be an always shitty year, and he's going to be in that loser bracket and fighting for survival this year.
I agree. It's going to be close. I have him just missing the survival bracket, but I mean, it could go either way, honestly.